We are the Crawfords. We have 6 kids and are hiking the Appalachian Trail, a 2,200-mile hike from Georgia to Maine. We don't know if we can finish it, but we are doing it together.
Hey guys, my name is Ben, and we've been vlogging now for a couple of years. And since we started the Appalachian Trail some, 24 plus 30, 60 plus some days ago, we have been uploading regular videos. So I wanted to walk you through the gear that we've been using to do that and the process that we've been using. The most important piece of gear is this camera that I'm shooting on right now. So this is the Canon G7x Mark II, and the only adjustment I've made is this little fuzzy windscreen up here. It's kind of like the go-to vlogging camera because it has this flip-up screen right here that makes it really handy, and it goes down to like a 1.8 or up to 1.8 aperture, so it's a really nice camera both for video and photography, so all of our pictures are generally taken with this camera as well. I've been using this Joby Gorilla Pod. I'm not sure which model it is, and we've been pretty happy with both those pieces of equipment. Back at home we use an SLR for all of our vlogging, and the Canon G7x Mark II is like our backup camera. So it's taken some getting used to just having this small camera, but I wish it was a little bit more wide angle, but like I said, it's like the go-to vlogging camera. I think you can get it for around 700 bucks. And I did get the like Amazon protection plan for 60 bucks because I was like lugging this thing through the snow, wind, rain, and water. Like if there's ever a time for accidents and spills, this is probably it. As you guys saw, I already filmed with my iPhone. I think this is a 6. It's like the lowest version that's waterproof. I've had to use it like a couple times just as a backup camera. Even though it's like a waterproof phone, I've had an iPhone since the day they came out. I've been like trained to never expose them to water, so I still like protect it with my life. And this is the Mountain Smith, I'm not sure what the name is, maybe I'll try and put it up here, that I strap to the front of my backpack. And the reason why I like it is because it holds my camera and my phone kind of like right in there. So I have my phone and my camera right here. It's not waterproof, and I wish it was, because that means when it rains I have to like put this whole contraption, unvelcro it, and put it in some sort of plastic. So that's a little bit unfortunate. So if you have a solution for that, you can let me know. And then up here I keep extra batteries. I keep one extra battery for the G7X, and I keep an extra GoPro battery. Having one extra on hand, like per day, is enough. I never go through more than 2 batteries a day. So I'm gonna go straight to what I just mentioned, which is the GoPro. What is this? I think this is the Hero 5, okay? And as you can see, we've already cracked the screen on this thing since been out here. I don't know if you can see that, it's busted. This camera has just been so great because first of all, it's waterproof without a case. If it's raining, which it rains a lot, this is our go-to, becomes our main camera that we use to shoot and talk to, which we haven't had to do many times. But second of all, we end up using this little guy for a ton of B-roll footage. That's all these shots in between the main talking points. So you can just like set it anywhere. You can set it in a stream, you can set it on a log, on a bridge, and we get all sorts of cool footage. All of my main accessories I've been carrying in this Tupperware container because it ends up being, it's waterproof, and because of the type of backpack I'm using, which is a kid carrier, it actually has like a bit of space so I can just like stick it in, but I've used Ziploc bags and other things. So I'm just gonna go through what I have in here. Start off with, I have this, it's like a GoPro, essentially a GoPro, almost like a tripod, because it ends up being a little mount that you can screw onto something that's threaded. So you could put it on a selfie stick or a trekking pole and use it that way, or you can just set it there. And what I love to use, one of my accessories I'm the most excited about, is this egg timer. So you just like turn this thing, and it like rotates and does these time lapse, these moving time lapses. Something like this is like maybe $10 or $15. And it's actually a little bit heavy now that I feel it, but I've gotten enough shots where I feel like it's been worth it. Another camera that I picked up here since being on the trail is this Samsung Gear 360. I think it's the 2017 model. And I've done a little bit of photography with it. I'm just getting into 360 video. But what I really was hoping for is some of these shots where I was just like walking and it has these kind of like weird fisheye viewpoint of the trail all around us and in front of us. So I've actually been pretty happy with this camera so far. It's like 110 bucks, so it's not a huge investment. These are the batteries that I have to use for the Canon G7x Mark II, and I have a total of 5 of them, 2 off-brand ones. So I have one in the camera, one in that case, and then I keep extra ones in this case. And this is a dual charger, so I can charge 2 at a time. Then I have the GoPro off-brand battery charger, which I can use to charge 3 at a time. And so far, 2 or 3 batteries has been plenty for us with how far we've been out in the wilderness and not in towns. We're not carrying any extra batteries that we've been using just because we didn't want the weight and to have to deal with all of that. We have plenty of electronic equipment as it is. So we've been dependent upon charging at outlets in towns. Nothing else too exciting in here. We have these like, all these stupid dongles and headphones. These are just standard earbuds, which they're so light that I was like, I do not want to lose these. So, and because we use them for editing. The next interesting thing we have is our drone. This is our Mavic Air drone. You can see it folds very compact. This came out, I believe, just a month before we started the trail. So I was so excited because I've had 2 or 3 Mavic Pros before. And this thing was lighter. The quality is still incredible. This is the remote right here, so it all fits, and this is the case right here. This whole thing, I weighed it at one point, I do not remember what it is. I think it's between 3 and 4 pounds for the drone remote, and then in here it holds up to 3 batteries, which I ordered the one that comes with 3 batteries, and I sent one of them back. Now I'm thinking I wish I wouldn't have. I think I'm gonna pick it up again. Because the cool thing about these little batteries is they come with this little adapter that will also charge your phone. It hooks up to any USB device, and that's actually been really handy because, like I said, we didn't bring any additional batteries. 1 drone battery is plenty for us for almost a week. You know, it captures like 29 minutes of flight time, which is way more than necessary for us. So I've been able to use 1 battery. It gets like, I think it'll charge my iPhone like 3 or 4 times. And all that fits into this right here. Then we have a MacBook Pro. This is the 13-inch. I don't know the exact model. It's not light, but it's the last one before they switched to that touch bar at the top and having to have more dongles. So I kind of choose the older models. This has been great. We use this. It's called AquaQuest. It's like a waterproof neoprene sleeve. Actually, I don't know if it's neoprene, but it's padded. So we pack it in here, and then we also put this hard drive in there. It's a 2 gig hard drive. It's, I don't know, it says it's shockproof and waterproof. I don't think it really matters. I wish I would have now used probably a 5 gigabyte hard drive because I'm going to be switching stuff over. When we started this trail, I wasn't thinking that we were going to be uploading once a day. I was planning on uploading once a week at that time, so I was like, oh, 2 gigs will be plenty. And the main reason why we have this hard drive is actually because we've been editing on Final Cut Pro. So it's like a pro editing software. I talk to a lot of people that are using their iPhones and they're just using iMovie. I think that's killer, and I envy them, and I wish we could do that. But if you're gonna be dealing with any amount of file storage, the iPad and iPhone just does not work well. And if you wanna do the level of editing that we enjoy doing, it takes, you know, you have to have a laptop and some sort of control. Okay, then we have this Pelican. It's just like, whoa. memory card holders, so this holds a ton of memory cards, and we have the micro ones for the GoPro and for the 360 and for the drone. I think that's all our gear. I just went through it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the process that we have used for our updates. What it usually looks like is we start off our day with this camera here, and we're just talking to it regular vlog style. And while I'm talking, so oftentimes we try and pick a theme for the day if we know up front. A lot of times we don't know though what the theme's going to be. And just because we don't know what to expect with the Appalachian Trail, it's kind of this new thing. And then after talking, I'm always trying to get like little scenery shots, because we're trying to look for ways to capture the environment for the context of selling the story, and to just show people that are interested in the Appalachian Trail. So we use this camera, and then I give this camera to my son. This is the GoPro, and his assignment is to get like 3 to 5 B-roll shots a day. And when he gets into it, he gets a lot more than that. And then those shots we can edit to music in between the talking segments, and it just helps the episode flow. Now, the drone is probably the most controversial piece of equipment. People seem to have a lot of opinions on this, on the internet at least, not in real life out here. But people are saying, oh, you shouldn't carry it, it's not any weight, you're violating the trail experience. And then other people are saying, oh, well, you're not allowed to film on the Appalachian Trail anyway, so you shouldn't have it. To me, it's totally been worth it. So how the drone has worked is we get to a town, and a lot of the towns are like, let's just say 0.2 to 5 miles away from the trail. So we get someplace, and if I have time, I'll pull this thing out and I'll fly it for maybe like 15 minutes at the town. And it's close enough to the trail that I can go up to the mountains a little bit, because it has a mile range. And I can film trees and mountains, and it's the same views that we would be getting from the Appalachian Trail, but it's not actually on the Appalachian Trail. And a lot of times I just like filming the town itself, just because there's all these small towns, and what we're excited about is like the fast food restaurants and the cars and the civilization. And then what we'll do is a lot of times I'll try and get like 15 drone shots of mountains and trees. And this is the movie making magic that I was like wondering, should I even share this? But I might as well be honest. What we'll do oftentimes is we'll edit those drone shots into the next episodes for the next week or two. So it's not like, I think people might think that are watching it, they're like, oh, he talked and then he pulled a drone out and then he went back to talking. When in reality, that drone shot was filmed 2 weeks ahead of time, and possibly even a different state. But I try and preserve the integrity of, like, we're not pulling any fast moves here. Like, so if it's trees and if it's sunny, we're trying to use shots that show like the same type of trees and the same type of sun. And you can color grade it in post to make it match and all that. But I think it really does help people feel what it's like to be on the trail and the environments we're in. Okay, so those are the dirty secrets with the drone. The music we use is all available. It's not all free, but a lot of it is free, or we've supported artists via donation and found the music that we like using. So then comes the importing process, where all of our things are kept on an external hard drive, and the editing process. So my son, whose name is 7 and he's 13 years old, he's responsible for basically all of our editing. And this is part of his schooling. It's part of what I value. It's how I made a living for a number of years, was through video production. And one of the things I really am excited for my kids to learn and get proficient at. So each day requires about an hour of editing, is my guess. So what he does lately is he charges the computer in town, and then he brings it, and he edits in the tent, not every night, because the computer, I think he figured out he can edit 2 episodes on 1 charge. So that means he can get 2 episodes done while even we're out in the tent. And then when we come to a town, then he has to edit whatever's left. So he does that, he edits it all. We're trying to do like in the range of a 12-minute episode. And then I always go over it, and I usually make some changes and suggestions and edits and things like that. And then we export it. Now that has been by far the most challenging part, is not exporting it, but uploading it to the internet. Because we're dealing with files that are between 1 and 3 gigs usually. And there's certain internet places where, I'm not kidding, it would probably take 3 days to upload one file if the computer was uninterrupted. And one of the things that's really important for our Appalachian Trail experience is to not let the production and publishing of the videos come before what our family is actually experiencing. So we decided to do the trail far before we decided to film it. And kind of as an afterthought, we're like, you know what, I think we could actually do this, film it, and have it not completely, you know, it does change our experience a bit, but we don't want it to, the cart to come before the horse. And we're like, oh, we can't hike today because we have to upload or find good internet or anything like that. So how it's worked out is we've come across like maybe one town every week or two, sometimes even 3, that has like really good internet. And when we get to those towns, we upload as many episodes as possible. So after he watches them, I export them. We have all these files exported and we're just waiting for good internet. So the way that we do that is we publish 2 weeks behind where we're actually at. Sometimes, I think right now we're actually 3 weeks behind. So that means we have, you know, almost 20 episodes just sitting here, and we schedule them on YouTube to come out. It was every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Now we're doing, I think, every day except for Saturday, just to catch up. So it's, you know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 1 p.m. they're published, and all that's done like automatically. So we're just out on the trail and the episodes are coming out. That's worked out really good because, I don't know, I can't even imagine like feeling the pressure of having to publish like on time. So I know that people like expect regular YouTube content once you give it to them. And I actually like delivering regular content, but so in a way it kind of sucks they're 2 or 3 weeks behind. But there might be some safety considerations, or for us, like we have people contacting government agencies trying to turn us in because they think what we're doing is bad for our children. So it also makes it so that people don't know exactly where we're at, which I wish we didn't have to hide that, but turns out we do. I think that's it. I've been really happy with this process so far. My daughter then uploads them all, and she's the one that titles them and creates the thumbnails and fills out all the YouTube descriptions and that type of information. And it's kind of been this process where for us, this is like kind of a part of our, I don't even consider it homeschooling, but I know people have that category for it. So this is like certainly our kids' like education, and one of the things we're enjoying teaching them. And what I found is like while we're on the trail, our kids are still learning and they're still connected to the real world in a way that, you know, I don't know what they'd be doing if they're free time otherwise. Like if we get to a hotel, like, you know, they'd probably be on Instagram or watching movies or things. So it's kind of given us something to do in a productive way, I think. So if you guys have any questions, I know I'm not very good at answering questions or comments in our regular videos when it comes to tech gear and stuff, because I just don't have a whole lot of patience for that. But on this video in particular, I would love to be able to answer any questions you guys have about our vlogging or trail update process. And maybe if you can share your own, you know, tips or tricks over what's worked for you, that could also help people in the comments below. Thanks for watching this. We hope that you've been enjoying the videos, and I hope this was helpful, and we will see you out on the trail.
Oh, Mama.
What?
It said she's a type 2 and her wings are balanced.
So she's lots of numbers for wins, which I projected.
I'm the helper too. Are you a 2?